Hello and good morning. Welcome to a PowerPoint presentation on what is communications. So basically it tells us about how the ways we communicate, how communications has impacted throughout the world in the following years, and how communication is processed through everybody's mind, from verbal and people who are non-verbal. So okay, let's go and present the first slide. So I'm going to click on the slideshow tab and present from the beginning. Okay, so what is communications? The next slide. So communication is the process by which ideas, information, opinions, attitudes and feelings are conveyed from one person or group to another. In what ways do we communicate? Well, the next slide will tell us about the ways we communicate. So communication may be deliberate, carefully planned and thought out. For example, a written report. Casual, spontaneous, ordinary conversation, for example. Unintentional, unconscious, some new non-verbal communication, for example. So those are the ways that communication can be for everybody. Here's the next slide. This is the communication process diagram. Here's the context. So this is the sender encoding, sends the message, then receives the encoding and gives the feedback to the sender encoding. What that tracks in the communication process is the noise, so making noise to the person. That's the next slide. So encoding, the message is represented as a set of symbols that make sense to the receiver. Language, for example, and a brief history lesson. Here, this is the alphabet letters that were first created before the official alphabet letters were created. So this is called the Phoenician alphabet, and it's the first alphabet. The year these letters were created, it was back in 1250, so nearly 800 years ago. Next, I will give us a poor example of those letters mean. So A is alpha, B is beta, so that B and F, so that's gamma. Triangle is delta, E is epsilon, C is theta, H is eta, O is theta, I is eta, K is kappa. Another half A is lambda, M is mu, N is nu, X is C, O is omicron, the radius is pi, P is rho, the sum function table symbol is sigma, T is tau, Y is upsilon, I and O is V, X is she, that's PSI, and this is the most important letter that most of us know. It's omega. The omega symbol that we all know. Okay, so that's the letters that were created first before the alphabet letters were officially created for the letters. Okay, so let's go on and present the next slide. It's about media. So what is media? Is impact through written, so through writing, letter, report, and company magazine. Oral, meetings, interviews, and presentations. Visual is charts, maps, and diagrams. Electronic is email, internet and telephone. Mass is television, radio and newspapers. So that's what's impacted media in the communication process. Yes, let's go on to the next slide. I'll show you that slide, but this slide is called decoding. Decoding means hearing or reading the message and making sense of it. And the key skills are decoding is listening, reading and notes taken to decoding. That's what decoding is. So go on to the next slide. Okay. This is about feedback. So feedback is the response given by the receiver. It gives vital information to the communicator. It can be positive or it can be negative. It can be non-verbal as well as verbal, so that's feedback for the communication process. Next slide. The time and place of communication can be very important. Why? And can you think of examples? Well, the basic examples on why is when you're working in a job, you have to keep close eye contact. Make sure you listen. So basic communication, that is you interact with other people or the customers and other staff. Why that's very important is because they can create a great strategy, a balance and a great communication relationship towards other people. So communication is very important when you're in the outside world, when you communicate with anybody that comes around you, or when you're asking for something, or you need to ask questions to, let's face, for example, a staff member or to a customer. So that's the context for the communication process. Now, next slide. Anything that interferes with the message. Can you think of examples? Well, the basic one is machinery. That's loud noise. People too many people talking at one time, so that creates an uninterrupted balanced noise. Transport. That's another one that interferes with the noise, and that's it. And telephone as well. So machinery, electronic equipment, sound, electronic noises, and public transport. There's a lot of things that can interfere with the message. A lot of things that can make noise through communications. So that's the noise. The next slide. So communication barriers explore. So this source of physical conditions, the source of language barriers, the source of poor listening, the source of perception of mistakes, and the source of stereotyping produce this. Those are the barriers for the communication process. The next slide. The principles of communication. Consider the receiver. Think out your objectives and plan the message. Select the right medium. Use simple and clear language and use an appropriate tone and not an inappropriate tone. So no violent language or physical inappropriate language. Slide. This is more about the communication principles. So give information at the right time and place. Remove all the noise as much as possible. As receiver, intend carefully to the message, be open to information and respond in the right way. Okay, so that's the end of the slides. So before I close off this PowerPoint, I'm going to go into the review tab and check accessibility on the slides. Okay. So this is the editor, so it automatically checks any spellings in the slide that have an errors or that's unspelled, so unspelled correctly. No issues in this slide. No issues in this slide. No issues. No issues. Okay, open nicking alphabet. Okay, media. No issues. Decoding. No issues. Feedback. Okay, very good. Context. Okay, noise. Communication barriers. And then the two last slides are communication principles. Right, so that's everything now completed for wireless communication. So that's all you need to know basically about what is communication. So that's basically communications about communicating the right directive way. So it's give you practice of report writing, writing CVs, conducting interviews, all the basic presentations and interviews. So that's communications. So that's it for today. So thank you all for watching this. Wash your hands, stay safe, have a good day, and I'll see you all very soon. So thank you for watching this. Adios.